Imagine this. It's the early hours of September 4th, 1972, in Montreal. The city sleeps under a quiet sky, unaware that one of the most daring and perfectly executed art heists in Canadian history is about to unfold. Atop the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, three masked figures lower themselves through a skylight, quiet as shadows. They move with precision, armed and prepared, slipping into the building undetected. Within 30 minutes, they vanish into the night with a haul of priceless artwork. No alarms were triggered. No one was hurt. No trace left behind. What followed became known as the Skylight Caper, a mystery that, to this day, remains unsolved. Welcome back to Evidence Echo, where real-life mysteries meet cinematic storytelling. Today, we explore the Montreal Skylight Caper, an art heist so clean and quiet, it felt like a Hollywood script. But make no mistake, this story is 100% real. And over 50 years later, it's still baffling investigators, art lovers, and amateur sleuths across the world. The museum had recently undergone renovations, leaving a temporary skylight vulnerable. A simple oversight, but for the thieves, it was an open invitation. That night, around 1:30 a.m., three men used a ladder on the roof to reach the skylight and rappelled into the museum. Once inside, they immediately subdued three night guards. The guards were tied up, blindfolded, and locked away. There were no alarms, no immediate alerts, and the robbers took their time. This wasn't a smash and grab. It was deliberate, methodical, and professional. Inside the museum, the thieves selected 18 artworks, including a rare Rembrandt landscape, a Corot, and several sketches by Delacroix. They also took priceless ancient artifacts, pieces of jewelry, and ivory sculptures. Interestingly, they avoided large or well-known works that would have been harder to sell. This suggests they knew what they were doing, or perhaps were working from a list. They even considered taking a giant Rubens painting, but left it behind, likely due to its size and weight. By the time the robbers climbed back out through the skylight, they had been inside for about 30 to 40 minutes, and not a single person had seen them come or go. The police arrived hours later, but the trail was already cold. There were no fingerprints, no credible witnesses, and no surveillance footage. It seemed like the thieves had disappeared into thin air. The museum, embarrassed by the breach, cooperated with investigators and even received mysterious ransom letters. The letters claimed to be from the thieves and demanded payment for the return of the paintings. One painting was even sent back as proof. But negotiations fell apart, and the communication stopped altogether. Authorities began to believe it was a bluff or a stall tactic. Despite global alerts and Interpol involvement, the rest of the artwork was never recovered. To this day, only 2 of the original 18 stolen pieces have resurfaced. The rest may be sitting in a private collection, lost on the black market, or destroyed to avoid detection. The most frustrating part? No one was ever charged. No solid suspects. No major leads. Nothing. So who did it? Some believe it was an inside job, someone who knew the building's layout, security flaws, and schedules. The way the robbers moved, the pieces they targeted, the decision to avoid alarms. None of it seemed random. Others believe it was the work of an international art smuggling ring, possibly supplying a private buyer. A few even speculate the robbery was staged with police knowledge to cover up something else, though there's no real evidence for that. The only thing everyone agrees on: these weren't amateurs. Over 5 decades have passed, but the Skylight Caper remains one of the most successful and mysterious museum heists ever pulled off. It's a story of opportunity, precision, and a flawless escape. Somewhere out there, perhaps in a dusty basement or hidden behind a false wall, sits a Rembrandt that hasn't seen the light of day since 1972. And the art? Still missing. So what do you think happened? Was it a professional crew working for a collector? And if you enjoyed this deep dive into a real-life, unsolved mystery, an inside job gone right? Or is the art forever lost? Drop your theories in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more cinematic crime stories from around the world. Until next time, stay curious.